With percentages, what's handy is if we think about what the actual word is and kind of write it in a silly way, but percent, like that, percent. Okay, per cent. Now, if you think about the cent, we get that in dollars and cents. That's $100 and cents. So we're looking at sort of per 100. So if I give you 3%, there's the 100. What I'm saying is 3 in 100. 3 in 100. So 3% means 3 in 100. If we then think about that, so if I say, well, 10% of people like the color orange, what I'm actually saying is 10 in every 100 people. Fine. Okay, so 10 in every 100 people like the color orange. That may be, though, that we don't have 100 people. What if we have, 360 people? Okay, so we have 360 people and 10% like the color orange. What would that translate to? So if we have 360 people and we want to find 10% of it, 10% of 360. So it's, in this case, we need to break it down so that we can understand what that would look like if we were talking about it being out of 100. So 10 in 100, of course, it's not easy because it's not immediately obvious how that relates to 100. But if we want to be quick with it, all we have to do is 360 times 0.1, which would, of course, give us 36. That'd be one way of doing it. Or if we divide 360 by 100, then we would get 3.6. Okay, so 3.6 would be 1%. Yeah, 1% in 100. And we're looking at 10 of those. So we've got 10 times this much. So we have 3.6 times 10, which is 36. Okay, so when you think about a percent, what we're talking about is 1 in 100, or at least we're talking about the number expressed as if we'd converted it to be 100. So if we did some fractions, you can do the same sort of thing with fractions. So for example, 5 100ths is, of course, straight away 5%. Just take that off the top. If we have, or what can we have? Well, we do the same thing, or a similar thing. So we will have 10 50ths, 10 50ths, or 1/5 even, 1/5. Yep, you can see that they're the same. It's just a matter of losing the zero on both of them. So same thing. If we think about 10 50ths, well, how do we get this to be 100 at the bottom? Double it. Okay, so times 2. Do the same to the top, times 2. And that we end up with 20 over 100. So we end up with 20%. 1/5 is, of course, 20%. If we think about that, 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20, 20, 5 20s are 100. So we end up with 100%. Okay, so first step is to realize that percent means out of 100. Hence, percentages are always shown with that little symbol, which means out of 100. We'll do some more work in the next video.